Good morning, welcome to the woods. Actually, today is not about the woods. Today's video is about two things. First thing, the fairing, or actually the windscreen from one adventure, the tower. How does it work in high speeds? And this. This is not my typical luggage option, of course. But I need to get my military gear into army base, which is about an hour and a half drive from my home, and I can't take away my wife's car. So I'm seeing if that's an option. Can I take my motorcycle? When I installed this AXP little plate on the back here, it looked so huge and wide, and I really didn't like how it looked. But now I see how it's practical, because I've always had a problem with burning all of my bags on the exhaust. And this, I hope, is gonna prevent this happening this time, because I really can't afford to ruin this bag. And obviously the thing is, if you know CRF300s, then you know that the suspension is soft. Luckily I don't weigh too much, and it's okay. And obviously in the end I won't be taking the bike on these kinds of roads with this kind of luggage. This is just for the effect. Actually it's going to be mostly highway, so that's what I want to test. Is how is the buffeting gonna be from the windscreen on a highway. Before we do get on the highway, there's one other note that I wanted to make. So I was warned about like having such a weight on the back of the bike, so far back actually, though it is sitting pretty much on top of the rear wheel, and that the front would get really light, so you gotta be careful. And so far, you know, I don't want to jinx it, but it actually feels quite alright. I mean, I always accelerate hard, and I can't get out of the habit of doing that, but so far it doesn't feel abnormal at all. So obviously I am pushed very forward into the tank as well. And another quick topic before we get on the highway, also about the windscreen and the buffeting. So there is some. I am 184 centimeters tall, 6 inches something in burgers, and this is the tall windscreen option from one adventure, so it is slightly taller. I gotta have measure exactly how much taller, not too much but still. And it's very upright, and but the buffeting, it's not something I feel, it's something I hear in my ears, at least at doing basically city speeds, 50 kilometers an hour, which might be like 35 miles an hour I guess in Chipmunks. Almost there. Sorry. Habit. Alright, now we're almost at the highway, so one last quick little check how the bags are doing on the back. Are they still nice and firm? Now where can we do this? A little incline here. Perfect. Looking all right. A little bit maybe to the left, but well, I mean when I'm riding it's to the left. Oh no, did I do that? Oh, bollocks. But no straps dangerously flapping. Doing good here, nothing's burning. Alright. It is moving around a lot, but then again, yeah, if I'm not jumping, if I'm not like leaning the bike too hard, I think it should be fine. Well, fingers crossed. I mean, only one way to find out. I'm also testing out my clothes, because I do have a warm layer underneath and it's still a bit chilly. It's 8 degrees Celsius outside, and it's not like a chilly summer morning, it's rather like really this Arctic air. Sorry man, I'm not in a hurry, but well, I am in a hurry to find out how this works, how this feels. Okay, 100 kilometers an hour. Ooh, this feels nice. I mean, there's a buffeting, but there's a little bit of wind in my shoulders, but mostly it's divine. There's no wind in my chest. I'm used to being blown off of the bike all of the time, especially at 120 kilometers an hour. Alright. Oh, perfect little stop for me. And I will stay in the sun. Slightly warmer. No, not again. Looks pretty much the same. You know, all in all, good test. Good test. See how it's actually right on top of the rear wheel, and it's not actually doesn't weigh all that much. It's mostly the sleeping bag is the biggest thing. I also have like a foldable bed because when you're 40, you can't really sleep on the ground anymore. Tried that, didn't work. On the night 4, I was freaking screaming and moaning every time I turned aside because it was so painful. And I said, nah man, just because you're in the army doesn't mean that it has to hurt. Howdy man. Oh, side wind. Now that's unexpected. What? A lot of it. Okay, this is real different. So it is a lot dependent on the wind. A lot more buffeting and shakiness. But alright. Should have ended the video before. Oh man, I am actively being blown away. What the hell? It doesn't even look like there's so much wind. You're probably hearing this as well. Man. Oh shit, I need a new helmet, but right now I can't afford it. I spent all of my money on the military gear. But why do I need to hold all of that gear? Okay, yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of a rant, so if you don't care about that, then bye and see you in the next one. The reason being is that, yes, I'm part of Estonian Defense Forces as a reservist. I'm a reserve officer, and I have my job to do in Estonian Defense Forces. And while Estonia obviously does provide me with everything I need to do my military duty, but the gear that they provide is pretty decent, pretty okay, but I still like to have it packed by myself, exactly how I like it, to have the lightest stuff possible if I have to haul it on my back. And well, generally, if I could spend that little money, I decided that if I have to do this more often than like once in 10 years, and it looks like I do have to do this because we have a really rowdy neighbor here in Estonia. So if I have to do it every year, if not even more often, then I want to have my own gear. I want to be prepared, so I just turn up and I'm ready for action. Not that I have to start basically fixing somebody else's broken gear and stuff. It's not ideal. And also it's a really long and tedious process of getting the gear, assembling and arranging all of the gear, and then even longer process to actually give it back. And if it's something that I have to do every single time, I just don't want to deal with this. Rant over. Let's just summarize. The test of the motorcycle has been quite good. I'm a little bit on the fence with the windscreen. It performs definitely better than having no windscreen because there's way less wind in my body, which is good because I hate the feeling of being blown off of the bike, even if this bike it doesn't really go all that fast, but still. And luggage will stay on just fine, no worries there. So a good test.